welcome back. This is part two of how to make a backpacking quilt. And this is Connor's Creations on DIY All Day with Dr. O'Day. Again, this is my own personal YouTube channel that I am currently expanding to include a lot of DIY, including woodworking, backpacking, etc. Now, I just recently did a backpacking quilt raffle for charity, and due to a lot of people's generosity, we raised almost $1,200 for the children at St. Jude. In today's video, again, this is part two. If you want to see how we designed the quilt with the winner of the raffle, Kristen Wilcox, then please check out the previous video. I'm going to link that below. However, here what we're doing is we're actually going and we're purchasing the materials to build that quilt, because I think that a lot of times, at least for me, when I was first starting out with kind of backpacking gear making, it was oftentimes hard to figure out exactly what materials you should buy, what fabric should you get, what downfill power should you get. And here I just walk you through exactly what I purchased to make an ultralight backpacking quilt. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Please let us know if you have any questions, and make sure that you continue following along. This is something that I'm really excited about, and I'm really happy to share it with you. So the fabric that I suggest to everyone to use is the 0.66 ounce membrane 10 taffeta nylon, and this is from Ripstop by the Roll. Ripstop by the Roll is awesome. I support them in everything that they do. The owner, Kyle, super nice guy. He's on a lot of the forums. He'll respond to you, and I've worked with them a lot. They have been absolutely fantastic. To be honest, if I reached out to them, they'd probably give me the materials for free for this quilt, just because they know that it would mean that I could donate more money to charity. I'm not going to ask for that from them, but truly, these are the type of people that they are. Ripstop by the Roll is amazing. I can't say enough good things about them. So I really prefer to buy from them over any competitors. And so Ripstop offers you a variety of colors. One thing that's weird is they have a lot of old colors here that, they've phased out, and I don't know why they still have them. I also don't know why they phased out things like hunter green. I don't know why they phased out the hot pink and some of these other ones. Like, there were some really good colors that were quite popular for me before they phased them out. But what this fabric is it's 0.66 ounce per square yard, which is remarkably light. If you feel this fabric, you would feel as though you were going to rip straight through it. And you do need to take care that you don't puncture this fabric. But if it's not punctured, or if there's not a tear already going in this fabric, I cannot tear this fabric with my hands. And that's how strong this fabric is. Again, I can't say enough good things about it. You do need to baby your gear, as with any ultralight gear. You don't want to, be snagging it on sticks and things like that. If you do want a little bit of an upgrade, you could go with the 0.9 ounce fabric as well. But really, I suggest membrane 10 taffeta nylon to just about anyone. And Kristen has chosen this the green tea. Which one is that? The green tea as the inner fabric. So we need to order two sets of fabric. There's the outer color and the inner color. And so Kristen needs green tea fabric. Now, we did specify that we needed fabric that's 84 inches long, which, if I order 3 yards of fabric, that's going to be plenty to meet that. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to get 3 yards of fabric. For the average person, you're going to just ask for it cut and folded. It's going to come in a nice package for you. Don't worry about paying the extra 10 bucks. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add to cart there. So now we have our three yards of the inner fabric. Now we need to get the outer fabric. Now Kristen decided to upgrade to a design and pattern in the outdoor ink gear from Ripstop by the Roll. It is some of the coolest stuff you've seen. There are some really, really neat patterns here. Some of my favorites are in here. I actually did a quilt with the Great Wave fabric. It didn't look quite as good. I think that would have made for a better tarp than quilt. However, I've also done Starry Night was a really neat one that I did a while back, but there are just so many really, really neat options to choose from. And, so Kristen, the one that she decided to go with was the Dragon Scales Black and Rainbow version 2, and I think this is just going to look awesome. And this is the pattern that Kristen decided to go with. And so we're going to come in here and we're just going to go ahead and find the fabric, and it takes me a second to find this. Let's see, print on demand fabric. It always takes me a second to find this. Ripsaw by the roll. If you're watching this, it's kind of hard to buy your outdoor ink fabric. There's not a great place to just go to and click it. It takes me a second every single time to find this. So let's see, we're into the fabric, on demand fabric, outdoor ink. I think it's this one. Yep, so it's this one. So the membrane 15 polyester taffeta, that's the 0.9 ounce per square yard fabric. So that's the one that they offer here. They don't actually offer the membrane 10 in the print. So we're going to have to upgrade to the slightly heavier, and it's a very minimal, I didn't even tell Kristen that it was going to be slightly heavier fabric here because you're not even going to notice it. It's going to be a portion of an ounce by the time it's all said and done. So we're going to go ahead and get the membrane 15 instead of the membrane 10. And I'm going to pick from their designs. And the one that I'm going to select was the Dragon Scales Rainbow version 2 was the one that Kristen really liked. And I'm going to say, so we can decide, do we want the full width or do we want the full print? Now, depending on the print that you go with, so if you go with something like Starry Night, for example, or the Great Wave, you probably want to make sure that you have the full print represented. However, with this one, it's a dragon scale one. It's a continuous kind of pattern, and so we don't need to worry too much about that. So I'm going to say full width here. I don't worry if we miss a little bit of the print there. So we're going to pick the full width here. No special instructions. I'm going to go ahead and hit none. And then again, we need 3 yards of this fabric as well. So the next thing that you're going to need is thread. I really like the Gutermann Mara 70 thread. That's what I use for all of my projects. And you just need to think through, what color is going to go well with these fabrics. So they've got black, red, greens, and to be honest, I already have all of these colors at my house, so I'm not going to order any here. But if I was thinking about the dragon scales, so the outer fabric, I'd probably go with the black. And then if I was thinking about the inner fabric, I'd go ahead and go with the green tea, wherever that was. Green tea, let's see, that looks like it. Yeah, so I'd just go with green tea. Now you might try to get a little fancy and say, okay, I want to get some fabric or some thread that's going to complement the fabric. Well, don't do that. Do not do that unless you are a very, very, very good seamstress. Seriously, don't get a complimentary thread because you're going to see every mistake that you make. So I highly suggest that you just get the color that matches the most, that it's just going to blend in very well there. And that thread is nice and cheap. The next thing that we're going to do is buy some down. So down fill here. And they've got nice 850 goose down here. And it's hyper dry down. And when it hurts me to pay this much for down because I used to get this for $72 an ounce with my business license through a different supplier, and so it does hurt me a little bit to pay for this. But we did say we needed 15 ounces, and it comes in 3-ounce increments. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the 15 ounces there. So now we've got the down ordered, we've got the 2 fabrics. The last couple things is you want to make sure that you have shot cord. So we're just gonna, type in shot cord here because I like to add shot cord channels at the top because I actually at the top of the quilt I put a little button that you can button behind your neck if it's a chilly night and you don't want drafts coming in. So you want to make sure that you get a little bit of this 1/8 inch shot cord, and you don't need very much of it. Just 1 unit of 25 feet is going to be more than enough. And then, you want to also think about, some cord locks. I don't like these 2-hole cord locks. So let's go ahead and just see what other cord locks they got. Sometimes I just order cord locks on Amazon. So I'm going to go ahead and type in cord locks. Yeah, let's just get a couple of these mini cord locks is what you're going to want. So you can just, for $2.80, you can get a dozen cord locks. So let's go ahead and just add those in. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and get some shot cord as well. I don't think that I have any shot cord left. So here I'm going to just add a 25-foot section. And so now what we've got is we've got the inner fabric, we've got the outer fabric, we've got the downfill that's going to go inside of that. We've got some shot cord so that we can make a channel up at the top. We've got mini cord locks that we can, use with the shot cord there. And then the last thing that we really need is the baffle material. So I'm going to go ahead and type in no-seam mesh. So that's what you're searching for, is no-seam mesh. So you could go ahead and go with the lightest mesh possible. That's the 0.5 ounce no-seam mesh. That stuff is fine. But it's honestly a little bit thin for me. I tend to opt, and it's it's a fair amount more expensive than the 0.9 ounce, but I also opt down for the 0.67 ounce no-seam mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and get that, and I'll go ahead and get 3 yards of this as well. They do also sell this. I'm going to do that cut and folded as well, by the way. They also sell this as baffle material. So I'm going to go ahead and search that and kind of show you this. They sell this in baffle material here where it's already pre-cut to your particular width. I would probably go with the 2.5-inch width here for our particular quilt. You could also go with the 1.5 because it doesn't have to be all the way out to that 2.5-inch width at each of the baffles. 1.5 would get you to 2.5-inch loft pretty easily, I would think. But you also have to factor in seam allowance, so I probably would still go with the 2.5-inch wide stuff. But really, and I'm going to show you in some of the future videos that I'm posting on this, it is not hard to cut this into baffle material. So I'd say save your money and go ahead and go with just this. So let's go ahead and kind of let's check out. We've got all this stuff queued up. Now we're ready to go ahead and purchase this quilt material and get ready to buy this quilt. So, you always want to apply coupons from Honey. Let's see what they've got, see if we can save a little bit of money. And unfortunately, Honey didn't save us any money, but we're going to go ahead and get that. And by the way, that's a Google Chrome add-on. I highly suggest doing that. So I'm going to check out with all of these items, and that here is the entire quilt build. So I really hope that you learned something from this video. This is something that it's very hard to plan out a quilt, and I think a lot of the things are overwhelming. I hope that this kind of helped explain it. If you have any questions, I love talking about backpacking gear. Just message me on Facebook, message either the Facebook page, or you can message me personally. I'd love to answer your questions. Whatever questions you have, I love talking about this stuff, and I'm happy to guide you through and kind of help you plan your own quilts. So with that, I hope you learned something. Please support the channel, like and subscribe. If you have any extra money laying around, please donate that to St. Jude. The kids would absolutely love it, and who knows, here in the future I might do another one of these quilt raffle for charities. So be on the lookout though. So once I get this material in, we're going to start the build, and I'm going to do a few different videos on exactly how to do that. So with this, have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that you enjoy this quilt build.